What's good, YouTube? Masex back with another video, and today we're going to be looking at my top 5 edge rushers for the 24 draft class. Now we're going to keep things simple because there's a hybrid in today's day where some are going to be listed on different platforms as outside linebackers, some defensive ends. We're just going to keep it traditional, coming off of the edge primarily, whether they're listed as a linebacker or hand in the dirt defensive end. We're just going to lump them all together as edge rushers. Okay, so before we get to that, definitely like and subscribe to the video. We are on the road to 1K. You clicked on this video because you're a football fan. Well, this is a football channel, so come on, what you waiting on? And without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so we're going to start at 1, work our way down to 5, and my best edge rusher in this class is none other than Latu out of UCLA. Latu is 6'5", 265 pounds, coming out of UCLA. No edge rusher has been more productive than this man in the last 2 years. 2022, 11 sacks, 36 tackles overall, 12 tackles for loss. He not only duplicated, but he even improved on those numbers this year in 2023 with 49 overall tackles, 21 tackles for loss, and 13 sacks. The man lived in the backfield. He's a combination of size, length, and high IQ. He's a little bit of an older prospect coming out of the 2019 class, but he's been very productive in his last 2 years. And in some cases, in some sequences of the game, he was a man amongst boys. I see him as a top 10 pick potentially, but he may be in that 11 to 16 category, just depending, like I said, it's December and there's a lot that goes on between now and the draft. But with his combination of size and skill, I see him as a really good player. Not the most athletic guy. He's not going to blow anybody away in the 40-yard dash. I see him as a 4.7 flat, 4.75 type of guy, but with his high motor and his natural talent, I really see him being an impact player. All right, my number 2 edge rusher in this class is Jared Verse out of Florida State, listed at 6'4", 260 pounds. He was, for the most part, the consensus top edge rusher coming into the season. He did slip. He had a very slow start and turned it on as the season went on. Just the last 2 games had 4.5 sacks. When the stage was at its biggest against Florida and in Louisville in the ACC championship game. Single-handedly was a wrecking crew in many of those instances when he was playing. Jared Verse, to me, still a high ceiling type of guy at 260 pounds. I think he'll still run a 4.55 to 4.63. He's a first-round pick, and I think the way he ended his season solidified him being a first-round pick. And it honestly wouldn't surprise me 5 years from now, Jared Verse is the best defensive end or edge rusher in this class. All right, now number 3, we have the almighty Dallas Turner out of Alabama. Now, I say almighty because the consensus is he's the top edge rusher in this class. He's kind of worked his way. His stock is at its highest. Impactful guy. He's probably the most athletic edge rusher in this class. He's going to improve his stock when the pro day and the NFL combine occurs. He may run 4.5 flat, maybe even get into the low 4.4. Potentially. That's the type of athletic freak this guy is. Plays with a good motor, plays much bigger than his size. He's one of the smaller edge rushers in this class at around 240. Definitely still has room to grow. I'm not really worried about that. He may have the highest ceiling as he is one of the younger prospects. Also like my guys who show up in big moments. Had a key sack in the Georgia game in the SEC championship. I really like this guy's potential. All right, my number 4 edge rusher in this class is Chop Robinson out of Penn State. Chop Robinson, 6'3", 252 pounds. He's one of those guys you're projecting. Didn't have the greatest production in his career overall. Even this year, less than 5 sacks. Not ideal what you'd want to see in a first-round pick, but when you look at his actual film and you look at the advanced metrics, it says more than just what's on the stat sheet with sacks, and it just shows that it's not all about sacks. He has a lot of characteristics that you want to see in a guy that could propel into a really good starter, if not better. I think he'll be a late first round type of guy, but Chop Robinson's one of those guys that you want to take in, develop, and he could be a potential Pro Bowl-like player a few years down the road. All right, And rounding off the top 5 edge rushers is none other than Braylon Trice out of Washington. Listed at 6'4", 274 pounds. Now Braylon Trice, very polarizing prospect, I'd say overall. You'll look at some big boards or mocks, and he may be in the top 25, and then you see others where he's barely in the top 50. Some he'll be projected as a first-round pick, and in others he may be somewhere in the second or third round. I really like the guy. I think he's a high ceiling type of guy. I think he's another potential related prospect that may have a better NFL career than he does as the productivity suggests in college. You look at him, like I said, he's over 6'4", he's 275, 280 pounds, moves very well, very athletic. He has the ideal length and size is what I'm getting at. Can pressure the quarterback, can also play the run. Of course, everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, but just right now, it's pretty tough, but I have Braylon Trice as my 5th rated guy. All right, there you have it. These are my top 5 edge rushers in this class. Overall, a pretty solid group of class. Not like last year, there's no definitive elite edge rusher this year. And that's really the defense in general, as we're now in this series looking at the defensive prospects for the class. But nonetheless, I can see some very solid starters and some guys that could potentially become all-pro-like edge rushers, shooting off the ball. But these are my top 5 edge rushers. This is the 1.0 version. The list is very fluid, and if you made it this far in the video, I deeply appreciate it. If you haven't already, definitely like and subscribe and support this channel. We're on the road to 1K, and I have no doubt that that'll be the first milestone that we check off. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. I'll see y'all in the next video.